Well, hello everyone. Welcome. Welcome to day 56. I believe it's 56 of our reading of Elsie Lincoln Benedict's book, How to Get Anything You Want. Yes, I am just checking here, and we are on day 56, and we are continuing the reading. We're on lesson 4 of this amazing book. Here we go. How to Get Anything You Want. From this lovely lady right here. Look at her. Look at her. She wrote this book 102 years ago, and we are enjoying it today. So I hope you had a beautiful Tuesday. It feels like Thursday. It's been a long week already, and it's only Tuesday. But we left off yesterday. I really loved yesterday's lessons. I loved how honest she was, and I really liked the feedback. I made a couple of reels about how honest she is in telling her students, look, you don't have to have full faith. I understand why you won't have full faith. If you've never had results before and if you're just starting out on this journey, she does not expect us to have full faith. She says, just listen, follow the rules, and stay consistent. It's a law. 1 + 1 = 2. If you know how to work it, it will work. Your faith in it, it'll help it. It'll speed it along. Your enthusiasm will help it, but it's not necessary for these laws to work. And she says that any teacher, any teaching that says if you don't have faith, it's not going to work, that ain't a good teacher. They don't understand the laws because the laws work whether you have faith in it or not. It's like gravity, right? The whole idea of if you jump off a building, whether you believe in it or not, you're going to hit the ground. That's what she's saying. These laws are universal. And she says Henry Ford himself cannot run one of his own cars any more effectively than you can if you will master the simple rules of driving. Vast laws, principles, and powers lie beyond your electric lights, yet you can, by pressing certain buttons, light your home as effectively as can the greatest electrical engineer in the world. We talked about that. I don't know how all these lights work, this camera, this microphone, but I just turn them on. All I have to know is how to turn them on and they work, you know? I don't have to know how. The following rules will do for you just what the pressing of an electric button does in your home, just what the few movements do for you in driving a high-powered car, just what setting the gauges on the electric stove does. Bring to you and place behind your desires the vast, untold divine principles and powers necessary for their fulfillment. They no more explain these vast principles than the electric button explains electricity, and they do not need to. The great thing is that they always work if you use them in according to their directions. Come with me on an imaginary journey, she says. Come with me on an imaginary journey. We will go millions of years back to a place called the beginnings of human language. There we will find our remotest ancestors struggling to form words to express the feelings they surged up from their subconscious minds. The brain was little developed at the time, but the subconscious was full of ambitions and longings, the forces that have brought up to his present stage of development. Man's conscious thoughts at that stage were few and far between, but his feelings and moods, those wonderful, powerful things, which, as we have seen in the previous lessons, make and unmake our lives, these were fully organized. So even back in the day, when there wasn't language to express these emotions and feelings, the emotions and feelings were there as sure as shit, you know? They were developed to the point where to give voice to them was an imperative need, an intense burning desire, a great craving which finally produced words. Every word you use, therefore, represents a feeling. Every word you use represents a feeling. This accounts for the indescribable effect upon you of certain words. They are not merely words to your subconscious mind. They are the children of your own subconscious mind and that of the race. So the power of words. I did a whole presentation for the Napoleon Hill Institute's mentorship program on the power of words. We did it at the end. We did it on New Year's Eve. It was a class on New Year's Eve to really prepare us for the new year. It's such a great program. I talk about it all the time. But if you want to join it, let me know. But the power of words, and words truly do cast spells. Words hold power, and the words we choose to use will affect our life. And she's reiterating this. Again, this was written over 100 years ago. She says man's conscious thoughts at that stage, back millions of years ago, were few and far between. But his feelings and moods, those wonderful, powerful things, which, as we have seen in previous lessons, make and remake our lives, make and unmake our lives, these were fully organized. Okay, maybe not a million years ago, but back to the beginning of the human race started to communicate, right? Before there was even language, there was desire. And when they had a burning desire, they would finally produce words. Every word you use, therefore, represents a feeling. This accounts for the indescribable effect upon you of certain words. They're not just merely words to your subconscious mind. They are the children of your own subconscious mind and that of the race. For this reason, your subconscious invariably responds to the certain words in certain ways. Your subconscious mind responds to certain words in certain ways, and to other words in other ways. It recognizes them as a mother recognizes the voices of her children and distinguishes between them as a mother can distinguish. Rule number one: any mood or feeling which you encourage, entertain, or cherish is certain to get itself externalized. Any mood or feeling which you encourage, any mood or feeling that you encourage or cherish, hold on to, revere, honor, is certain to get itself externalized, materialized sometime. And one of the first steps or stages towards this materialization is shown in your words. So take it from a licensed psychotherapist who deals with clients. You're flat out talk therapist. I mean, I do EMDR and other trauma work, and I've lived and I've served and I'm honored. But from my perspective, when certain therapists or the mental health community says, honor your emotions, honor your feelings, I 100% disagree. No. Validate them, listen to them, don't push them down, but do not cherish and honor them. Why would you do that? Especially if it's terrible. Feelings of hate, anger, grief, and sadness. Feel it, recognize it, validate it, and let it go. And if it comes up again, do the same thing. Validate it, see it, recognize it, let it go. If you have to do that 100 times, do it. But do not sit down, make a little bed for it, put your little sadness on a pillow and put a crown on it and say, this is my sadness, I'm going to honor it. No! It'll get roots in it. So I think even the words, the language we use, honor your emotions. Why the would you honor your emotions? They're like clouds, they're going to disappear. Why would you honor and why would you crown with authority your emotions when they are passing? They are just feedback as to what you're thinking and your experiences of it. And especially if they are painful emotions, they are just a sign of the thoughts that are happening in reaction to what you've just experienced. And of course, they're always valid. And that kills me too when people say, my emotions are valid. Of course, they're valid. They're feedback from what you're thinking about what just happened to you. Of course, they're valid. You're the only one that has to validate them. Nobody else does. To be honest, right? It's nice when people do, like therapists. But at the end of the day, I highly recommend changing the words we use from honoring our emotions to holding space, even, right? Because holding space evokes, for me at least, spending time and protecting them, like holding space, like this is my emotion, this is my sadness, this is my trauma. Don't you dare touch it. I'm holding space. It's like I get what people are saying. Of course, there's good intentions and it's healthy, but it's not taken like that. I think it's veered off into a culture of honoring and romanticizing and getting off the secondary gains of trauma and pain and weaponizing it. I've done this myself in my life and I've seen it with my clients. Do not honor your emotions, recognize them and validate them and move through them. And if it's hard to move through them, get help. Because we are not meant to stay in any emotion. They are passing. They are like weather. Moods and emotions are like weather. What if it rained all the time? Like every single day there was no sunny day. That would never happen. It's always, things are always moving. even when you're in places like, where was, oh, like I remember like New Orleans, I don't know, Louisiana, like, well, I'm from California, so we don't really have weather. But I remember in certain parts of the country where it's like it would be raining one second and sunny the next and raining and sunny. I was like, what is going on, right? The weather was changing so rapidly. I had never experienced that. Or like I think when I was in Costa Rica, it would be sunshine and rain and wind and a storm, and then it would be nice and sunny, and you can go swimming and surfing the next hour. And it's like, it was just raining. What the heck? That's like our emotions. Your emotions are fleeting. And my favorite study from Jill Bolte Taylor. I'm gonna bring this up, y'all. Class is in session. Class is in session. Where is it? I'm gonna find it. I believe it's in my emotional alchemy PowerPoint. This is a class I taught. This actually is a course that will be available to purchase like a digital online course. Um, so stay tuned for that. Okay. My PowerPoint's opening. This is one of my favorite presentations, but I've mentioned the study before about Jill Bolte Taylor, who talks about what emotions truly are, like the chemical reaction of an emotion running through our body, and it lasts for 90 seconds. Okay. So it lasts for 90 seconds. And if it goes on any longer than that, we are the one that continues to kind of tickle that ivory on the emotional piano, so to speak. All right, so let's see where this slide is. Um, we have this, and I will find it. This is such a good. I am like the queen of slides. Let me tell you, this is like an epic course. Well, little like mini class. Here we go. Okay, so this is a little preview. Let me make this smaller. How do you make this? There we go. Oopsie. Oh well. Here we go. Okay, let's share the screen and enjoy this together. I'm not gonna, maybe I'll go full presentation mode. Why not? YOLO. How do you do this? Slideshow, view, full screen, enter full screen. No, it's not entering full screen. How do you do presentation? Oh, slideshow. Here we go. Play from current slide. There we go. Okay, so 90 seconds. Okay, let's go back to our emotions, right? 90 seconds, according to Jill Bolte Taylor, Harvard brain scientist, emotions last 90 seconds, or the length of a chemical process in the body. After that, the remaining emotional response is the result of a person choosing to stay in that emotional loop. So our emotions, when we're feeling sadness or anger or grief, it's like a wave that lasts for 90 seconds. It's a chemical process in the body. That's actually what we feel in our bodies. But after the 90 seconds, the remaining emotional response is the result of a person choosing to stay in that emotional loop. So once the 90 seconds is over, we kick it up again and we have the thought that we know is going to make us feel even more angry and more angry. And it's a loop. And we're human and we're all going to experience that. But it's a choice at the end of the day. So we're just playing ourselves. You're just playing yourself. So don't identify with your emotions. They are as fleeting as clouds. Don't take them so serious. They're just feedback as to what you are thinking. They are in effect. What thoughts are you emotionally involved with? So I want you to consider that. What thoughts are you emotionally involved with? I want you, this is the best analogy that I've kind of, I like to teach with. Pretend like there's a keyboard, like a piano, right? Or a keyboard with all the white keys, right? I don't know what the black ones are called. Anyways, so I'm musically illiterate. Anyways, so there's a piano and there is the spectrum of like the and then the bong 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 bong, really low keys, bass and high key, right? So throughout life, life is a symphony. We're going to be playing all together, right? There's times when it's ding and there's times when it's dong. But it's just like what Jill Bolte Taylor says, when you hit a key like bing, it hits the string and we talk like that. It tugs at our heartstrings we struck a chord, we hit that note or whatever. It's like our bodies are like an instrument. So picture you're a piano and you have access to all of the emotions, the highs, the lows, all in between, right? They're notes. Let's use this metaphor. Roll with me. And there's some people, okay, just like Elsie Lincoln Benedict is talking about and Jill Bolte Taylor, the brain scientists. When it comes to moods and emotions, there's people you're around are always playing like the Phantom of the Opera, like what's that? Bum 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 bum. That's not the Phantom of the Opera. But like the scary Phantom of the Opera music, like don't like doom and gloom. There's people that are always like they feel like it's always a drama. It's always some like epic, tragic song playing in their life. And like you see them coming and you're like, ooh, I don't like to hear their music. I don't like to be in their vibe. It's always like womp womp, dun dun dun, like all like depressed and low. There's always something going on with them. You know people like that. That's their predominant mood. They just play on this side of the piano. And say something did happen to them, because something probably did, where it's like boom, right? Lasts for 90 seconds. But then when someone comes, it's like, do you know what happened to me? Bong, 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 bong. When they're taking a shower, they think of the bong situation and they keep hitting the key, bong, bong. And they're just like, we literally play ourselves like an instrument. We can choose, even when we're right. It was a fucked up situation or something, but we control. It's over. It's actually over. The situation is over. No matter how horrific it was, I know it's bad. But our continual thoughts about it, that's why it's important to ask for help and process it. If you're having trouble, if you're staying in that low, if those low keys, those low emotions continue to come up and you're like, I can't help it. I just can't. It's just like I'm having intrusive thoughts, like flashbacks. And that happens. We can get frozen. And that's why, trauma modalities like EMDR are very, very helpful. So, anyways, there's people on the piano keys that stay in this low vibe, and there's people that are always like kids. Okay. 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, when you have your nieces and nephews over and they're like, "Ooh, oh my God, can you guys just turn it down a little bit? Turn it down a little bit." It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's like they are screaming, they are wild, they're having the best time of their life. Okay. But when we grow up, we're going to have all sorts of feelings. And there are some people that are always just joyous. Like they're just always on a high chord. God bless them, you know? But there's people that are usually just in the middle. So just like when we hit a key, bong, it doesn't last forever. It's like it echoes, it's there, and it pitters out. It goes away. But what she's saying is, say for example, you hit the key and it lasts for 90 seconds. She's saying if it happens again, it's because you have a choice of hitting that thought that continues to make you feel that way. You keep talking about it. You're talking on podcast about it. You're telling your friends about it. You're telling Tom, Dick, and Harry about it. Can you believe what happened to me? This is terrible. Beep, 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 beep. And you wonder why you get addicted to that chemical response in your body for that mood. It's like I used the example of my car got broken into. I knew right away. I was like, oh hell no. I am not gonna be like that was a bong. And I was like, oh sweet mother of pearl. And throughout the first few hours, it was like bong, and I was like, oh, I can't believe that happened. Like the first bong was when I walked out and saw my broken windows. Bong. I had to call the police. Bong. I had to call my insurance. Bong. I had to call my friend to come and get me. Ding. Then I was like, I can't be doing this, man. I'm not gonna give the thief, I'm not gonna give this situation my energy. I don't want to stay in the Phantom of the Opera, sad, depressed, doom and gloom. I need to get back up to the higher. And I was like, you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have insurance, that I'm alive, that nothing bad. It's just a car. Things can be replaced. It really, really sucks. Bong. Okay, let's go back. And then laugh about it, right? Find humor in it. One of my friends, thank God, Mariano, shout out to you. He's so hilarious. And he just like took care of me that afternoon and took me out to tacos. I don't even remember, but was I sober? No. Actually, I don't know. Yes, I was. I think I was. That happened. I don't even remember when it happened. I know I got sober in May of 2019, and I got my car in January. Maybe it was right before I got sober. I don't remember. I actually don't remember. I don't even know if I wrote it in my journal. I could guess I could look up in my insurance policy when that happened. But that's how far I put it out of my memory. I was like not going to keep playing that piano of that story and keep those emotions alive. Anyways, I hope that metaphor made sense. So, words have power. Your subconscious mind responds to certain words in certain ways and to other words in other ways. It recognizes them as the mother recognizes the voices of her children and distinguishes between them as a mother can distinguish. Oh, rule number one, any mood or feeling, or piano key, which we encourage, entertain, or cherish, is certain to get itself externalized, materialized sometime. And one of the first steps or stages toward this materialization is shown in your words. So, what words are you using? Okay. Words, therefore, are workers of the subconscious. Each and every one came into existence from the subconscious to help it in expressing and materializing certain feelings, moods, and conditions. Entertain any mood for a while, and unless you are dumb, you are certain to put it into words. Entertain any mood for a while, and unless you literally don't have all of your mental faculties in check, you are certain to put it into words. So if you entertain a mood, you're going to start speaking. It's going to come out, it's going to materialize in one way or another. If it is a mood you do not want other people to see, you will at first say its words only to yourself. That is, you will simply think the words over to yourself. You'll just keep repeating. Like, for example, if somebody annoyed you and then you get in a bad mood and you're like, oh, I hate them. I hate people. People are stupid. I hate everybody. People are stupid. Ugh. And then you run it and you're like, well, you wouldn't want people to walk around. You wouldn't want to walk around the office letting people know what you really think, but that's what's really happening. People are going to pick up on that. You can't hide a bad mood or a judgmental, critical. Don't allow yourself to go down that rabbit hole of hating people. Even if you're right, even if someone's super, super annoying, like you can have boundaries and not be around them or put your earphones in and choose to have boundaries, but there's no need to hate people or call them stupid or think that they're idiots or why do they do this? It's like it's so easy to do that. And you can have people commiserate with you and be like, yeah, they're stupid too. It's like, what is that helping? Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't know if you're talking about somebody or yourself. So your subconscious mind just has these feelings of annoyance and, oh, judgment and criticism. And it thinks, and you're just bathing yourself with those emotions when you're really thinking about the person next door. The person next door is kicking up, eating popcorn and watching Netflix. They have no idea what you're thinking about them. You know what I mean? Like you're the only one suffering. It behooves us to have tolerance for people. And what do we know? You know? It's like for every person that you don't like, someone doesn't like you. That's the truth, right? Nobody likes everybody. Like you're not someone's cup of tea. I'm not someone's cup of tea, right? You might be watching this and be like, her, right? Fair enough. Okay, right? But just having humility and understanding that people express themselves in different ways and people prefer different things. And just like you prefer different things, so do other people. And that's okay. Not everyone's going to like us. And just be okay with that. And it's none of our business because it's never about us, by the way. It's always about them. Like you might not like someone because of their name, right? Oh, I hated this girl. She used to bully me when I was younger and she had that name. And now you cringe when your new coworker has that name or something. It's so silly how we can judge and be irritated. I don't like their energy. It's like, really, do you not like their energy? Or, you know, when people use that, like, I'm just sensing something. My intuition's telling me, is it really your intuition or are you being judgmental and critical and not taking responsibility for some of your actions? You know, it's like, yeah, there's so much to that. There's a lot I could say about that. Anywho. All right. So words, therefore, are workers of the subconscious. Okay, entertain any mood for a while and it's going to come out in words. So if there's a mood that you don't want other people to see, you will at first just say the words only to yourself and just simply think them over and over. But Very soon, you will be saying them to yourself and usually aloud. The conscious mind deals in images, pictures, visualization, but the great subconscious has, for millions of years, dealt with words. The spoken word is now the code it uses most. Today, we have a word for almost every known feeling, a language through which we can reach this great feeling mind and set it to work. All right, I like this. The conscious mind deals in images, pictures, visualization, but the great subconscious mind has for a million years dealt with words. Really, I would say it deals with like the emotions behind words, because the subconscious mind really doesn't, I don't know, doesn't understand language in my opinion. But again, let's see what she means by this. The spoken word is now the code that it uses. Today, we have a word for almost every known feeling, a language through which we can reach this great feeling mind. Okay, yeah, the feeling mind is subconscious mind. I see what she's saying. Your subconscious is a marvelous establishment, a huge factory full of forces that we have yet only glimpsed. We do not know actually all that goes on inside it, and we do not have to. But one thing we do know, that we the instant we work that the instant we go to, it goes to work for us in exact accordance with the words we have used in our message to it, and eventually produces the finished article which our words ordered. Okay, I think there's a word missing here. Let me read that again. So we don't have to know exactly how the subconscious works or what's really going on, but one thing we do know, that the instant we to work for us in exact accordance with the words we have used in our message to it, and eventually produces the finished article which our words ordered. So basically, I think she's saying, the instant we say it, it goes to work for us in exact accordance with the words we have used in our message to it, and eventually produces the finished article which our words ordered. A very simple example will suffice to illustrate how the subconscious prefers words to any other form or order, and why, if you want your order obeyed in the shortest time, you should avail yourself to words. Autosuggestion. Again, we are always talking to ourselves and we can pick our words. I'm interested to see what she says. The head of the boarding house where I lived during one of the college years was a very motherly woman, but not inclined to humor us with desserts or other things we especially liked. Our hinting and praising and cajoling did little good. We had given up trying to get anything more than meat and potatoes when someone discovered that we could get anything we wanted out of her if we'd tell her daughter and let her deliver the message as her own. Oh, this is funny. So she's using an example of, she used to stay at a boarding house, and the head of the boarding house, this woman, was not very humorous or kind or didn't really give them anything extra. And no matter how much they tried to cajole, push the lady, like, oh, we like dessert or this, the lady would never do it. But they found out if they just went to the lady's daughter and convinced her to ask for some dessert, the lady would do it. Our subconscious has a beloved child, and that child is the avenue through which it prefers to receive its orders and messages. That child in each of us is the little girl whose name is words. Oh, written and spoken are her communicate are her communicate are her way to communicate with it through its favorite code of words. It set it sets two first ones. Wow. I don't know if these are missing words, but these aren't making sense. Okay. So our subconscious mind has a beloved child, and that child is the avenue through which it prefers to receive its orders and messages. That child in each of us is the little girl whose name is words, or little boy. Written and spoken are her communicate with it through its favorite code of words. It sets two first ones. Therefore, the next gauge in your subconscious is to be set through the help of this young lady. When you send your orders into the subconscious through her, you will not be disappointed. I'll end right there. That's so true. Like I think I've shared before, like my biggest kind of quantum leap was through listening through my auto suggestions that I recorded. So I use the app, the Think Up app. You can just use your voice memo. There's actually another, I think it's a free app called Voice Loop, and you can download it from the App Store and you can record your own voice and have fun with it. I know at first people are like, I don't like the sound of my voice, or that's kind of weird. Like, you'll get over it real quick, trust me. I just hype myself up, like Carla, and I use my own name. Is it called third person when you talk about yourself, like to yourself? Um, so I use my name instead of I am, I say you are. So I like talk to myself. I say, Carla, you are so amazing. Carla, you are so powerful. Carla, you are an authority when you teach. Carla, people love you. They find you irresistible to watch. Carla, you're so amazing. Anything you touch turns to, just whatever. I'm using examples, but I'll use my name and I will just cheerlead myself and I'll listen to it when I'm walking. And I would say it's called autosuggestion, a suggestion from yourself to yourself, but I used words that excited me: abundance, opulence, wealth, success, ease, flow. Um, I used my name, of course, um, with emotion. And it is exactly what she said. It got into my subconscious mind quicker because it was through words, listening, passing on that message to my subconscious mind. It's so powerful. So I use those apps. Think Up or just the voice memo or the voice loop app. It just plays it over and over and over and over. But I like the Think Up app. It costs a little bit of money, but you can put like music tracks behind it and makes it more like symphonic and really great. But it does the job. I love it. This was really good. I can't wait to get into the different rules. There's how many rules that she's going to start? Rule 5. Ooh, rule 13. 14 rules, y'all, and then we'll get into lesson 5. I love it. Well, this has been fun. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you're on Facebook, I hope you hop on over to YouTube, like and subscribe. We're building our community, and I'm so grateful for you all. Thank you for all your comments and your support and your super thanks and all of that. I'm so grateful. I think so far I've gotten almost $25. $25 from my YouTube channel. The best $25 I've ever had. I can't wait. And I'm dead serious. It's just so rewarding after all these years of doing this to like even get $1. It's just so special. So thank you so much. If you want to work with me in any capacity, all of my information is below in the description box of my YouTube videos. Be sure to check out all of the playlists. If you have been following along with this, always know, or if it's your first time, there is a playlist under Elsie Lincoln Benedict's book, How to Get Anything You Want, on the playlists on my YouTube. All of the previous 54 videos or 55 videos are here. We're going through this whole book together, reading it. I'm teaching lessons, I'm sharing stories, and just sharing metaphors in a way that we can understand this material better. And I have a bunch of other books too, if you're interested. And of course, I work for the Napoleon Hill Institute. So if you love Napoleon Hill or anything personal development, we have a powerful mentorship program. Dr. Joe Vitale is the president over there at the Napoleon Hill Institute. David Meltzer just signed on to be the chairman, and he's starting a corporate division. We have Cleona O'Hara. She's amazing. And so many amazing teachers, and we're just attracting great opportunities. And it's going to be a big year where we're going to change a lot of lives. That's what it's about. We have the self-discipline camp. You can get 2 weeks free. Visit the website, napoleonhillinstitute.com. Again, there's more options to work with just me one-on-one in my description box below. I do human design readings. If you're interested in human design, getting to know your unique gifts and talents. What else? I do a release to receive package. I've been doing some therapeutic coaching. So if you want to unblock anything that's been stuck, reprocess something, um, and really just receive the abundance that you know is there for you. You know it, but something's blocking you. Usually it's our subconscious mind. It's our counterintentions, as Dr. Joe would say, Dr. Joe Vitale. So it's enough. It's time to release what no longer serves you, the negative narratives, the thought patterns, the limiting beliefs, and start to receive what you know is yours and just live the way you want to live. Live lighter. Don't stay in the dun dun dun, right? It's like start being more free, being more light, being more childlike, moving your body, right? Grounding yourself. So I hope you enjoyed that. All my information's below. I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.